Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. My parents are actually coming to visit from Alaska later on this week. We didn't want to do a storage unit. We had some cleaning up to do, preparing for their visit and whatnot. So I'm going to do a what sold video today. And then we're just going to go ahead. I'm not going to say the prices, what it sold for out loud. We'll just go ahead and throw the thumbnail up so you guys can see what it sold for.
Come on, let's get into it.
So I'm going to do the first account minus the items that we store inside our home, which are primarily records. And I'll go through those a little later on. This is a Chico's silk blouse. Chico's is a brand that we don't pick up too much anymore now, unless it's a great fabric like linen or silk, or it is new attacks. But yeah, this one was silk. Cool pattern. Took a little while to sell, but it's sold. Now I got a pair of Citizen of Humanity jeans. These are the Ingrid Stretch. If you sell clothes, leave a comment and let me know what you're getting for these right now. These sold for decent money. Now this was just really cool. The rodeo's happening here inside Houston right now. It's a vintage panhandle slim shirt, but this isn't going locally. It's actually going to Colorado. So I love those vintage Western shirts. Pretty cool.
Yeah, pretty cool stuff.
Being a California boy, we don't see a lot of those over there, but if you're familiar with some of our older content on this channel, we sure do sell a lot of Western shirts. This is a brand we don't pick up unless it's new at tags, but it was new at tags. Vince Camuto. And if you're unfamiliar with our sourcing method, we don't just do storage units. We also take probably 2 days out of the week, sometimes 3, depending on how many storage units we're doing, to the Goodwill bins. And that's pretty much where we get all our stuff, aside for the records, which you will see some of those that sold later. I buy those in lots on Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist. Yeah, and that's pretty much how we source for our business currently.
That is amazing.
Now here we are. This is Cato, another brand that we decided we're not really going to pick up unless it's a great fabric or new attacks. So it just doesn't sell for great money usually, although this one is polyester. It's an older item and it did sell. Now this is an item that we had reserved for pop-ups, which we did one last year, but we've just been so busy we haven't really had a chance to do it this year. And the reason why we picked this one for a pop-up is because it's usually a younger crowd there, and if you can see this Hawaiian print, it's very unusual. But we threw it up on eBay because we never got around to a pop-up, and it did sell. Now these two were a pop-up item. The brand is called Academics. It's a Y2K kind of hip-hop brand. And a lot of those Y2K brands are still inside style as of right now, so we do well on those. So I'm going to go ahead and pull our second account, and I'll show you what sold on that one. We'll get to the records in a little bit. All right, well, let's see what sold on the other account. First off, this little guy over here, it's a Mage Knight, and this guy was one of the singles that we sold. If you're familiar with the channel, you might have seen that we sold some bigger lots of these for decent money earlier. This one was just barely worth listing by itself, but we found it inside that big 10 by 20, I think it was, outdoor unit that my Uncle Bobby helped us with. So that sold, and we've been hanging on to this for a long time. Look how cool this old label is here. It says Levi's, and it's made in Italy. Vintage women's corduroy jacket. No solds or nothing. was hoping we get a lot more for it, but we eventually took an offer. It's just not a huge market for that Levi items. Obviously, if you're familiar with vintage Levi's like Big E's, some of that stuff goes for crazy money. Although that was a unique piece, couldn't swing big dollars for it, but still a cool pickup. This was out of the same unit that we did with my Uncle Bobby. And that sold. You know, everything we got in that unit was for like one bulk price. I don't know if I would pick that up at the bins because, unfortunately, even though it's vintage, it doesn't sell for great money. I was a little surprised on those, but hey, sale's a sale. This is a lot of ties. There's some decent ones in here, like a Christian Dior. So, just 5 semi-designer to designer ties. Pretty sure that sold for 20. You can see for yourself. This was out of the Crooked Cops unit. So a lot more stuff on this account that sold from storage units as opposed to the bins. For whatever reason, that's just how it shaped out today. This is a Talbot's dress that we had for some time, so it went on discount. Probably could have gotten more money for it if we unlisted it and rephotographed it now because of the season, but that's okay. Hopefully it went to a good home. Here's a rare pair of Nikes in really good shape that we're able to get at the bins just because this is a really competitive market, but I think these just somehow landed in Erica's hands. They're basically brand new, but not every pair of Nike goes for good money. I mean, happy with that sale, but you know what I mean. They're not all $200 sneakers. We have a couple of those listed right now. This was another item we picked up for the pop-up. So not too bad. We're probably going to sell it for $5 at the pop-up. It's not vintage or anything. But we listed all those maybe a week ago. Let's see if I can. This is a vintage Victoria's Secret robe. And a little designer shirt here with Sony. And this little guy, I think, sold for 30 bucks on an offer. So took a little while, but that's pretty good money for something that probably cost us about $1 or so at the bins, maybe less. Not surprised this sold. We're about to hit the springtime, summertime item sales, a lot of linen, swimsuits, things like this. This used to sell at Kmart. And not a lot of money there, but again, this was one of our older inventory items that got discounted like 50% off, which if I relisted today, probably would have sold for more. Anyhow, I will see you back at the house and show you the records that sold on the 2 accounts. So if you like this kind of content, please subscribe, leave a comment, and let me know you like these kind of what sold videos, and I'll do more inside the future. But let's go ahead and take a look at some of the items that sold. Now here's a record that we just picked up at the bins the other day. Didn't sell for big money, but it is a quadraphonic. So if you ever find those, pick them up. Usually they're better than that. Here's a little ring we found inside a storage unit. If it's silver, we do throw it up on eBay. And yeah, we made a little money off of that. Here's a hip-hop record. I recently picked up over 700 records. This is one of the better ones. We're already in the profit. So this is just going to stack up on top of that. Everything we sell from here on out will be profit. These 2 books we found inside that last storage unit. And they sold together. They're not in great shape, but metaphysical, esoteric books that don't have huge runs can go for some decent money. And these are kind of on the lower end of that, but we got them in the storage unit, so I listed them. This is another record. I had same haul of hip-hop records that I picked up. And so is this one. So anyhow, that's going to do it. Thank you so much for being here today. We'll be back with more storage units, and we will see you soon. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.